trimming. Let me know when my valve stem seals arrive, will you? Thanks, bud. Hey, final part of the puzzle. Valve stem oil seals. Compare them to the old ones. They look the same. Excellent. So, if you're late to the party, I'm basically rebuilding the top half of my Ram Hemi engine. So before I can reinstall everything into the truck, I need to get the new stem seals in and the valve springs and all that kind of stuff. And thankfully I can do it all inside, because outside is a bit let me show you. Oh wow, my hood in the truck's opened up. That's just great. That's really bad. I mean, what are the chances? A gust of wind has blown my hood open and everything's wet. You know, my open pistons, my open bores, cylinders. Oh. It's not the end of the world. I'll wipe it down and I'll stick this bungee cord on it for now. Right, on with it. Right, before I can put my stem seals on, I need to flip these over, but there's nothing holding the valves in, so I need to take them all out. Put them in my box that's all numbered, and then we can work out how we're getting these seals on. I think you basically just push them on and then give them a tap with a socket. I'm sure Comp Cam Tools make something that's like $30, but I'm sure a socket will do the job. I hope so. Well, I think we have everything we need to install these little seals. The first thing you want to do is make sure they actually fit over your valves. I already did this. I don't want to do it again, because you run the risk of damaging the rubber with these little grooves. So you want that to be on there. You want it to be snug. You definitely don't want it to be loose. So these are the right ones, and they definitely fit over there. So I'll give you a close-up of how I'm going to do this. Now, the tool that you would generally buy is kind of like that, except it's not a hex on the inside, it would just be round. But I have worked out that a 13mm deep socket goes over there without touching that little metal spring or the rubber itself. It just pushes that lip down. I'll just be tapping that gently down until it goes all the way. So what else you want to do? Put a squirt of oil around there. Eventually, right. Just to aid with the installation process. I'm just using a little hammer so I don't get too carried away. You heard the noise changing there when it bottomed out, so that's as far as it's going. Don't need to go any farther than that. Now what I'll do before I continue with all the rest, I will stick the valve up there just to make sure it's sliding straight. Which one is that? That would be cylinder 4 on the exhaust. So as you can see, that's going quite nice. And it also holds it in place so I don't have to do something crazy when I'm actually starting to put the springs in. Right, let me proceed with all the rest. All my seals are in place, all the valves slide up and down nice and snug as a bug. So let's fit some valve springs. Right, you'll notice these ones. Now, I don't know if this is a year thing between 2009 and 2012 in these Hemis, but they have this collar around the spring, which means you can't use one of those top valve compressor tools because there's nothing for it to grip. It would normally grip it there and then push that down, but if it can't grip that, then you're stuffed. You have to take the heads off to get these valves out. Very frustrating for people that don't want to take the heads off. No problem for me because I've got my big gigantic, does everything tool, but obviously you need a lot of space top and bottom to use this thing. Right, let us fit some valves. And I will be using some of my amazing, oh it is actually amazing crazy grease to, I'll show you, I'm going to dab a tiny bit onto these little collets, these little guys, just to hold them in place while the spring comes back up. It'll make sense when I show you. And I'm also not going to wear my gloves for this because they just get in the way. It's one of these wee fiddly jobs. Right, so there's a big sort of washery thing that goes on first, and make sure that's, I don't think it matters if it's completely spotless, but I just felt it was a wee bit gritty there when I was placing it down. Don't really think it's going to make much of a difference. Squirt of oil, just in case. Right, we have oil. We have my spring goes on next. Now we have to compress that down and get 2 of these little collets on, one on either side. And as I say, I'm just going to put a little dab. Dropped it. That will not be the first one I drop today, trust me. So just a little dab of grease. Just to kind of hold it in place when you put this in. One on each. Okay. Right, let's do some compressing. I'll give you a better angle of this actually, because you probably can't see it for this tool. That's better. So let us compress. Eye protection on. I mean, this way takes a bit longer than just using a big handle to lever it down, but slow and steady wins the race. Thanks, Randy. Mr. Quote. Mr. Quote a lot. Right, try not to drop these. One there. spin it around so that I can put the other one in easier. One there. Now when I release this spring, because the grease is holding the little collets in place, it shouldn't jam up in anything. There we go. Looks good to me. $15 to go. Let's do it. Yay, last one. It's not exactly rocket science, but it can be a little bit fiddly just to get these little guys in, because you got to get these in spot on. I mean, they can really only go one way, to be fair, but well, no, they could actually go further down and jam everything up, but it's pretty obvious when it's not on right. Okay, where's my cloth? I'm giving it a little wiggle just before I completely release the tension, just to make sure they're bedded in right. And there we go. And then once the heads are installed, then I'll cover these in oil and let it get to where it's supposed to be. Nothing worse than the noise of a a tappety engine when you first start it. Cool, job done. And that is that. Ready to go back on. There is one thing I'm going to do before I install the heads. I might as well put all the spark plugs in. Much easier to do now while they're right there. And just make sure I don't bash them on the way in. But they are quite well recessed, so I don't see a problem with that. Awesome. So that'll be me for today. It is disgusting outside. I'm not taking these anywhere near outside world. And tomorrow it's supposed to be cold but nice. So you don't want to miss that one. Well, you might want to miss that one. It's the one after when I try and start it that you don't want to miss. It's either going to be yay or nay. Find out soon. Hey, before I go, have a wee look at Turlo's garage up there. He had a bit of an incident with his Jeep with Hemi, so he might be looking for some help and advice, maybe just some sympathy. It's a good channel, it's worth checking out. Right folks, thanks for joining me today. See you bright and early tomorrow. Take care everyone, bye bye.